What's up, optimizers? Hope you're having an awesome day. Let's just jump right into it. The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F by Mark Manson can be summarized as the following. We all care about certain things. Choose carefully what to care about and ignore the rest. Conventional self-help advice tells us to constantly visualize the success that we want in our life and the person we want to be. The issue here is that this mentality reinforces the idea that we are not that thing, and hence leading us to actually become less happy. Manson points out that pursuing something only reinforces that you lack it in the first place. We are constantly being sold by the media on the positive experiences that we can, should, and deserve to have. This creates this desire to pursue that very thing. Manson states, the desire for a more positive experience is itself a negative experience. And paradoxically, the acceptance of one's negative experience is itself a positive experience. The famous philosopher Alan Watts used to refer to this as the backwards law. The idea that when you pursue the act of feeling good all the time, the less satisfied you become. How is that possible? By pursuing something, it shows that you lack something in the first place. For example, the more you want to feel rich, the poorer you feel right now. The more you desire to be more physically attractive, the uglier you feel regardless of your physical appearance. Fixating on the positive only serves to remind us over and over again what we are not and what we could be but fail to be. Contrarily, pursuing the negative helps guide us towards a positive experience. For example, giving a presentation makes us feel nervous now, but we will feel confident and accomplished after. Drinking a healthy green smoothie might not be as enjoyable as drinking a can of pop for some, but will lead you to be feeling better after. Going to the gym can be painful, but it will improve your energy and health. Everything worthwhile in life is experienced through overcoming the related negative experience. Pain is an inevitable part of life. Understanding this will lead us to become more content with the many obstacles we face in life. Attempting to disregard this fact will lead us to unnecessary suffering. The moment we accept that there will be pain when achieving our goals is the moment we become unstoppable. A misconception about happiness is we will be happy when we reach the goal we have set out for ourselves. For example, I will be happy when I become a millionaire or when I become fit. The problem is happiness is not a reward experienced only when you get to the end goal, but it is a byproduct of emotions. Negative emotions are a sign that something isn't being addressed, and that we are capable of doing more but are not acting. Positive emotions is a reward for taking action in the right direction. Reaching a state of practical enlightenment is when we accept the idea that some suffering is always inevitable in life. Suffering without purpose has no value. Suffering when trying to solve problems that align with your goals is not only worthwhile, but it is where true happiness comes from. Happiness comes from solving problems, not avoiding them. The same is true with problems. Problems never stop. They merely get exchanged or upgraded. If you ask someone what they want out of life, their response might sound similar to everyone else's: to be rich, happiness, to be fit, or something along those lines. Instead of asking yourself what you want to be, ask yourselves, what are you willing to struggle for? Or what pain do you want out of life? This will give you a more realistic idea of your endeavor and whether or not you are willing to put up with the pain and struggle before you start. For example, being an entrepreneur might sound like an exciting endeavor. You can be your own boss, set your own hours, work for yourself. If we now reframe our perspective and ask ourselves, what are we willing to struggle for? Things might change. For example, are we willing to take full responsibility for the company's failures and be responsible for employees? Are we willing to sometimes work more than 40 hours a week? Are we willing to invest so much of our time and money with no guarantee of anything in return? Asking yourself, what are you willing to struggle for, will give you clarity and a more realistic picture if this is something you really want to pursue. Love the process, not the goal. People who make it to the top of their craft are usually the ones who are willing to struggle the most for it. Loving the process allows you to overcome the many hurdles one faces, whereas only focusing on the goal and dreading the process will feel like a never-ending journey. The joy isn't at the top of the mountain, but the climb itself. Most people are average at almost everything they do. In order to become a master at something, it is necessary to devote a significant amount of time. We live in a society where the media is constantly advertising above average exceptional skills and accomplishments. Even when we look at social media, it seems like everyone is living these amazing lives while our lives in comparison seem boring. The flood of over-exceptionalism constantly bombarding us dwarfs our reality into thinking this is the new normal. This directly impacts our happiness as it makes us feel desperate because we don't feel good enough. Our values are what determine the metrics by which we measure ourselves and everyone else. Understanding our why allows us to better work towards our goals as they align with our core values. A short list of what makes good values are reality-based, socially constructive, immediate, and controllable. A short list of what makes bad values are superstitious, socially destructive, not immediate or controllable. Here are some examples of good and bad values. Good values include honesty, innovation, integrity, self-respect, curiosity, charity, humility, creativity. Bad values include domination through deceit, always being the center of attention, not being alone, being liked by everybody, being rich for the sake of being rich, and being positive all the time. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching part 1 of The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F by Mark Manson. Make sure to check out part 2.